Welcome to the Barcelona streets of content break, where your dream is cheetah-licious,
I was about,
and so is your first three songs. Yes, we are doing Cheetah Girls 2 here on DCOM December, the last DCOM of the year, the last show of the year. Happy New Year.
yay.
Yeah.
2022 ends.
Now 2023 begins.
Yeah, I'm like, is there
Which-
any escape?
I don't know, man.
I'm just living on a prayer at this point.
Living
on a prayer.
Take my hand.
And we'll make it as
So anyway.
Barcelona.
Lizard on a chair.
My
No.
God. All right, so it's the Cheetah Girls in
Yes.
Barcelona.
Yes,
Yes,
by
yes.
far. Not. It's like for me, this is not critically one of the better DComs, but it is to me one of the most entertaining and like fun. Yeah.
I mean, that's great. That's great. I'm going to be honest with you. I watched the first one when it aired on TV, and I hated it so much. I still haven't seen this one. To be fair, though, this past week, it's been mostly because I've been trying to prep for this new job.
My God. Somehow I'm not surprised.
At least
Somehow I'm still disappointed. Well,
expected, but
But I made you feel something.
yep. Yep. But you know.
you know.
So the Cheetah Girls is a girl group that Disney made up for a movie thing. I don't know, DCOM franchise.
Yeah.
And they are, at least for most of us, really fun.
Yeah, I
got-
agree. Like the first one's kind of weak, because the whole plot's just kind of all over the place. But the second one is really like the best of the Cheetah Girls. So you really did yourself a displeasure by not watching this. And I dare say it has the most iconic, like boppingness of the songs in the DCOM movie.
That being said, Disney did like to play a lot of songs in between their shows. So I have heard them. I have heard
that's
the album, but it's been a hot minute and I haven't seen the movie, so I will admit that.
Okay, well, you know, it's okay.
Well, I saw the first one, haven't seen either of the other two. I don't know if we've said that we're
You
specifically
don't talk about the third.
Yeah, I don't know if we've said we're specifically talking about the second one today.
I don't want
Yeah,
to
we're-
watch the third one now because you say it's so bad. It's like how
It-
bad is it?
It's
like-
pretty bad.
All I know about it is that it doesn't have Raven Simone in it.
Yeah.
And that face is exactly what I expect.
Yeah, it's. Yeah, no, the third one does not have Raven Simone in it. It takes place in Bollywood, which I'm not mad at Bollywood. I'm just like,
I'm going to be honest, I'm kind of interested because it does take place there.
I'm just saying, like, it's.
is it just-
Raven Simone is a huge part of these movies. She's the leader of the Cheetah Girls. She's the driving force for this movie coming together and things happening. And same thing with the first one. And like, her name is Bubbles. Like, come on, like
No wait,
Bubbles.
did
I
they
hear
just
that and I
leave
think of the
her out?
Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah, did
Well,
they just leave her out of the
okay,
third movie, or
I
did
actually-
they replace her?
I actually did
in
look
the
into
third
this.
one.
Okay, well, yeah, for the movie anyway, they didn't. It was a trio instead of a quattro.
They
Yeah,
briefly in the
Three
third
instead
one,
of four. Quartet. That
in
was
the-
the word.
in the third one, they very, very briefly touch on the fact that she wanted to get a jump start on college and all this other stuff.
Always college every time. That's-
Yes, but in
Disney's
actuality, she
favorites.
left because she wanted to do her own music.
Which I did look into that a little bit. It's actually kind of funny because since Raven Simone herself wanted to have a solo music career as well, which is why she never went on tour with the Cheetah Girls. That, and because she was also starring in That's So Raven at the time. And going on tour would mean like putting the show on pause and not being able to have as many episodes coming out, more reruns and everything. Which I think she had a better time filming That's So Raven than she ever did with the Cheetah Girls.
I will say, like, you know, if I had to only choose one in history, I would take That's So Raven over Cheetah Girls. Even though I think the last movie came out after, or started production after That's So Raven had ended. So I think she had an out, but that was when it just came down to the fact that she pursue her own stuff opposed to going about it.
She was retired by that point.
Yes. But what a lot of people don't know is the Cheetah Girls are actually based off books. There's a Cheetah Girl series where it has the story of these 4 girls like finding, which the books are really good. I read them in elementary school because they were hand-me-downs from my sister who is very much into Cheetah Girls. And they used to have their own dolls and everything. It was like a really cool time. But Disney was like, oh, we can make money off this without doing our own thing, so we're going to do that.
I don't think I've ever heard a more Disney statement in my life.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty standard.
And also, fun fact, that the first movie, Aqua, one of the 4 girls that we're getting to, played by Keely Williams, who was 3LW, had a line, I got the hot sauce in my bag, which Beyonce took and is notarized, made. People credit her for that line, but not her. First Cheetah Girl said, I got the hot sauce in my bag. So that's an interesting fact.
Did not know that that was ever a thing.
Well,
cool. Glad to
right.
know.
So, yeah.
Now, whenever I say I got the hot sauce in my bag, I know who I'm quoting.
You ever say
That comes
that?
up in every day.
As if that's the thing you have ever said it.
I like hot
mean-
sauce, but I don't really ever keep it in my bag. I'll be honest.
But maybe you should, mother.
I probably
Maybe
should.
you
You know what?
should,
I should
yeah.
probably just start carrying.
You know what? What
Hot
kind of hot
sauce
sauce
in
you
my backpack.
use? What kind of hot sauce you use?
Yeah, I'm gonna judge you right now.
Just any hot. I don't know. Just whatever's.
No,
around.
no,
I'm gonna
God,
assume
no.
you use Frank's then.
no, no.
The current hot sauce I have in my fridge is from some local person that I got like from whenever.
Gotcha.
Got it from the farmer's market. And I was there, and I was like, ugh. You know, it's crystals is the correct answer.
Thank
and,
you. Thank you.
I like
And
crystals.
all my sisters and my mom and my aunts have it packing in their purses. So, if we ever go anywhere, it's on deck. Anyway,
You need to be
Speaking
ready.
speaking of going places, the Cheetah
Ooh,
Girls go
Spain.
to Barcelona.
Barcelona. What is the Barcelona?
that's
how
what
it's
everybody in
pronounced.
this movie says, though. It's
That's
like
how it's pronounced in
gotta have-
Barcelonian Spanish.
You gotta have the weird, possibly racist accent on there.
it's
Barcelona.
not. That's how they say it. If well, maybe I
Maybe
mean
they do,
this
I never
actually
heard.
takes place in,
In
Barcelona.
Barcelona.
In Barcelona, which where this movie takes place. They actually went there. I was like, you know, the power of Disney money. I remember when we talked about Wendy Wu. We were like, cool. They went to, you know,
New Zealand.
or there were some parts
Canada.
where they went to New Zealand, yeah. And then Jump In was shot in Canada, and Phineas Ferb was shot in Burbank in California, where the tri-state area is. There's the truth. And this was all the way on the other side of the planet, or adjacent to the planet. I'm not sure.
Adjacent to the planet.
I don't know.
They were on that
was-
second moon that's very small.
It was filmed in New York City and Barcelona, Spain, which is just across the Atlantic,
Yeah.
So,
And had
like-
like the whole thing. Yeah.
at most halfway around the world.
Yeah, so it's still pretty far. And it's the sequel to the first Cheetah Girls movie, which is DCOM.
would
Which
hope
I
that were the
didn't
two.
know until watching this when I was older, which explains why I have a love for the Cheetah Girls movies and an affinity, is that this was directed by Kenny Ortega, same person who directed High School Musical
I
and
thought
other
he-
shows.
I thought he just did the choreography.
No, he directed as well. So it was he did
Okay.
the choreography and the direction. Same thing he did with High School Music. I was like, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
He also
Ironically-
directed The Descendants and
Yep.
did choreography on St. Elmo's Fire, the film, Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Wait,
Been
what?
doing a bunch of shit, yeah.
What?
Yeah, Kenny
There you go.
Ortega is a goat.
Did choreography on Dirty Dancing.
Hmm? Yeah.
Yeah.
Kenny Ortega is the
The
goat. A lot of people
fuck?
put it. Yeah, he's giving us like,
No, I'm still having conniption over Ferris Bueller's Day Off. What the fuck?
as you should, man.
Yeah, what dancing was in that?
He was the ghost in Ghost.
Holy shit!
Yeah. So, anywho, this had a lot of heavy hitters from Disney. Of course, Raven Simone, Adrian Babylon, or Raven Simone as Gabriella, aka Bubbles, Adrian Babylon as Chuchi Chanel, and Sabrina Bryan as Dorinda Doe, and Kylie Williams as Aquanetta / Aqua, or Strange would say Aquafina.
No. I just said,
That's
what
what you
was the
said.
name? No, I said, what was the name like Aquafina? That just kind of threw me for a loop as like, oh, I guess that is a name that could be.
The first part of the word is the name.
I just couldn't remember off the top of my head. So
And we also got Lane Whitfield, who's very prominent as well, and other people whose names I don't exactly know what they do in real life. But yeah,
So why did they go to Barcelona?
so they went to Barcelona. they went. They went to Barcelona because Uchi or Cucci. Yeah, I'm gonna call her
What?
Chanel
What?
because I'm
What?
her nickname Chuchi. Sorry, yes, Chuchi.
I was going to say, I'm like,
that how that
no
works?
way.
Yes, so
No way.
Chuchi.
Okay, I'm gonna be
Chuchi-
honest with you. I looked up some stuff for this movie to prepare for this, but I heard nobody calling them by these like nicknames. I always heard them call them their actual names, like Gabriella, Chanel, Aquanet. I don't remember anyone talking about
Dorinda.
Dorinda. So that was
They
a little
do.
off for me, but
They do. There's a whole scene where Bubbles, aka Gabriella, aka Raven, leaves.
throw me
and-
off so bad with this.
Okay, for the sake of people who didn't watch this, I will use their actual names, not their nicknames.
I'll be frank,
Coward.
that's only going to help us with Raven Simone.
Anyway. Anyway.
No
I'm
disrespect.
about to
but-
say, I can remember at most 2 names.
Okay, again,
So-
why did they go to Barcelona?
So they went to Barcelona because Adrian's character Chanel's mother is going to be with her long-term boyfriend Luke, who wants them there for the summer. And she's like, I don't want to go because I'm going to miss my girls, my sisters. And we're going to be here living all this life. And it's just so different. And Galleria, or like Raven Simone, leader of the characters, like, well, what if we can find a way to get there with you? We'll ask. And then they go to Galleria's house and they wish upon a star, which really happens. They wish upon a star for a solution, and then the wind, which I can only assume is from the
The
shooting
wind?
star. Yes,
Yes,
which
the shooting star has wind as an airbender.
Which-
You didn't know that?
which flips the page to the very like kind of localized concert that's happening in Barcelona. So the fact that happened is so wild to me because I'm like, wait. So you have, how is this in your magazine? How is Teen Vogue have this very finite
It's
music
wishing
festival?
star power.
in-
You didn't
Yes.
know?
So this is
It's
true
wishing
Disney
star.
moment that happens here. Like all of the Mickey Mouse yo-ho-ho bull crap is just festered in the first 20 minutes of this film. But I gotta say, out of all the BS and unbelievable stuff that's happened in DComs, this is probably the biggest stretch, which sets you up for the movie, which is going to be a whole lot of happenstance that just works out, which is hilarious.
It was
Well-
literally, this is how it, no, okay. Like, all right. So we got a gig in Barcelona, right? We bought property and everything to film on, whatever, because we're Disney. How do we do this? Do we got any upcoming movies we want to do? It's like, well, We could make an original idea and shoot something. No. We need something. We need to something. Give something a little spice. We got that. We got a Cheetah Girls sequel
That
we've been working
Spanish
on.
spice.
Yeah. Like, yeah, do
Fuego.
that. How do we
Hey.
get the Cheetah Girls in Barcelona? I don't know. Figure something out.
Wish upon a star.
What is
Disney magic.
To emphasize this point on how ridiculous that is, I just poured all of the rest of the rum I had. I am
That's your
too
liver.
sober for this crap.
Didn't even watch it.
Yeah.
No,
Don't.
it's just the,
what fuck are you
it's
on
the
about?
explanation of that alone. God damn.
I
You
only
don't get to
watched
drink.
the 30 minutes of song recaps, and I got the gist of it.
I
To be
mean,
fair, that wasn't like
I feel like
the
that's
sh-
the best way to do this.
it wasn't the strangest
Just listen
thing
to
that,
the soundtrack.
that happened in the movie because there's something that happens later on that you're like, all right. Talking about like what we talked about before the podcast, but we'll get there
I
eventually.
don't know what
I'm
that
sure.
is.
I don't know what that was. I was having
Yeah.
issues.
I gotta see what part that is as well. So we get the team, and in non-Disney fashion, they actually do show that they have permission for their parents and acknowledge everybody's parents. I was like, oh wow. So
Shit, all
They're
the
like-
parents alive?
Yeah, I guess so.
maybe.
Okay, by that look on your face, I'm gonna say somebody's.
Dorinda's
like
an
a s-
orphan, so her parents are dead.
Uh,
So I was like, but her foster parents are alive.
oh,
Yeah,
that still counts.
yeah, still counts. So
Now we quoting Lonely Island.
So, they get the go ahead, and we get. I don't even think we get like a cut away of the flight. We just end up in Barcelona, which
They just
I'm
there.
here for. You know, like
Got
just
that
straight,
Nightcrawler teleportation.
just straight to the chase. We're here, and we're Cheetah-licious. So they're looking through, and they're like, "Oh wow, mi Barcelona, it's so beautiful," and everything's like happening, and they're all in heels, which respect to like the heel era. Where back in this takes place in 2006, so that's when the fits were. This movie's so dated with the outfits, so dated, but I love it. I love
Yeah.
it with my whole heart.
It's so bad because when we get to when they introduce Marisol,
Marisol?
when they introduce Marisol, and she's performing a number, and she's rocking that jeans with one
yeah.
entire leg cut off.
I love it.
I was
Yeah.
I
like,
love it.
What is happening with this outfit?
The Michael Jackson glove of pants.
Yes.
You only get one sleeve.
It's really a style and a vibe, and another thing that I love about this is like just talking about this movie. There's a lot of Spanish in, and I
Well,
like
this is
how
that.
it's acknowledged. Because when they're like, "Oh, we don't speak Spanish," but you see all the members saying some
Wait.
things in Spanish. Like,
About to say, isn't one of them Spanish?
yes,
Yes.
one of them speaks fluent Spanish. Adrienne Babylon speaks fluent Spanish because she's Spanish,
Okay.
and allegedly,
say,
and the joke is
I'm about to say,
that
I remember
Aqua-
her from That's So Raven. She was speaking Spanish.
Yes, and the joke is Aqua also speaks Spanish because she got an A in the class, but she doesn't have like the dialect, so she can't like, roll her R's or
She-
anything.
Yeah.
Well, she can't.
She
pronounce-
has the technical knowledge.
She
Yes.
doesn't put the in Barcelona.
Yeah, yeah. Novio. Anyway,
I'm
so
surprised I can do that, honestly.
Roll your R's.
Rick and Morty. So we're here and we're at the cafe, which is a true, as someone who's been to Spain, this is a true Spain experience of
Take one.
like just the outlook of the cafe and how everything's so open. I'm like, I feel like they did a really good job of encapsulating that. And then Galleria, I keep wanting to call her Gabriella. Galleria's like, we're not gonna be too touristy, we're just gonna act like how we are. She does the most American thing she can by ordering her drink a very specific way. She's like, "Can I have a cola? Don't open the can. Give me one glass, another glass, all the way up to ice and lemon wedges, and about like a chill glass a little bit." And the guy's like, "What?" And then Chanel has to, go ahead and translate the Spanish. She's like, "Just bring in some Cokes and lemon." Then when they're there, they see in true Barcelona fashion, we see angel perched up, strumming his guitar, and just speaking, like seducing these girls and me. And he's like, let me tell you about me, Barcelona. But he's saying this all in Spanish. Sorry, Mike. He's saying this all in Spanish. And then you have Chanel translating this to the other three girls. And it's just like a whole atmosphere. And while you hear like the Spanish guitar sing, like some Carlos Santana-ish. And like it's just singing, right? And then like Diddy sleeps and they start singing. I'm just like, ooh, it's like where the gypsies play. I'm like, ooh, it's like deep inside. And I'm like, ooh. And literally the best song in creation from Disney starts, Strut. And it is a whole vibe. Like they're just going, like just jumping out. And it's like a hip, man, I'm trying to tell you.
Having only heard the song before now, it's very interesting to hear how it starts in the movie.
Yes. And the song gets me going because it's like, it's just so tranquil.
Fuck, put that on my cardio mix too.
Yes, that was on the like, I might be having a heart attack and I gotta make it to the hospital, so I need something to listen to. Like real life, this happened to me. Like, I'm not okay.
Like, get my heart. I'm going into cardiac arrest. Get it pumping somehow. Put on Strut.
I'm just sitting there and yeah, but we made it, you know. And like the dancing choreography for this is so good because it also shows you while they're talking about Barcelona, it shows you like the city streets, like what the people do in their average day life of like working, like the bakery shops, like just how the atmosphere and people are. I was like, yo, this is probably not only one of the best DCOM songs, if not the best, but the best at like being intrinsic to what it's singing about, like what it's talking about, opposed to like, don't get me wrong, like I'm here for like breaking free from High School and Musical, but like we in the auditorium, like we very not much free, and we in like tracksuits. Like, come on, I get it, but like, let's go. And then, but this one's just like got that like festa, like that chutzpah to it, and it was just like, and the fact that they're like y'all saw it, Strange and Kelz, they're like skipping, like, but they're in step, and I'm like, what is happening? Like, what are we doing? I could talk about this whole song for the whole podcast, so y'all gotta let me know when it's time to move on. But like, what are your opinions on the best song ever created by humans?
That's a claim.
Let's temper that with perhaps the best DCOM song.
I'll allow it.
It was pretty good. Okay.
I feel like that was such a me moment.
I like the chorus. Like the hook for this song is the shit. I'll be real with you. Listening through half the verse, I'm like, okay. We just gotta have something to fill time to get back to the chorus.
On the Barcelona.
Yeah. And it was fun to watch them have fun.
Yeah.
It was a fun song. I liked it.
I felt like I was really in Barcelona when the song was like happening.
Yes. Also, I love how at the end of the song, the man just sprinkling in some Spanish at the tail end.
Yes, bruh.
I also love how he's running around with this classical guitar, and then we have a fucking electric guitar solo.
I love that
3/4 of the way through that he's just grooving on.
I was gonna talk about that when we got to the last song, but like that, I love that. And what gets me the most about this song is that the absolute insanity of the high notes that this man hits at the end. You're just like, what? I'm not even gonna attempt to like reproduce that here for you all and for the safety of others. But this man like sings My Barcelona at such an octave and like such breath control. I was like, yo, what? But yeah, so after that, the movie just goes downhill, honestly. Okay. Not downhill, but that's the peak of the movie for me.
Yeah, because
That
like
be the peak of the movie.
Then we go off on a whole adventure that breaks up the band.
Yes, which is so funny because it just kind of happens out of nowhere. But I gotta tell this funny story, which I told before while you were in the bathroom, Kelz, and say it now on the actual live thingy, not live.
In front of
sorry,
everybody.
Sorry, I put your business out there. So I thought
You thought
Cheetah Girls was like slang, like it was their own personal way of spelling it, right? Like cheetah. I thought it was like, because it got cheetah-licious and all these other words. So I thought, yeah, that's how they spell cheetah for the culture. And somehow it comes about. I'm doing my rewatch with my family earlier today that's in town for the holidays. And my sisters, I said something, and I'm like, I just love how they spell cheetah. My sister's like, what do you mean? Like, how they spell cheetah? I'm like, it's just so, like, hip. Like, it's so, like, edgy. Like, like, TAH. And she's like, insert legal name here. And I'm like, yeah? That's how you spell it. I'm like, what? And my brother's like, wait. You've gone this whole time, like 14 years, 16 years, not knowing how to spell cheetah. I was like, it never came up. I don't know how I thought it was spelled, but I just thought it was. I thought it was spelled CHEETH. I don't know. But
Me neither, because that's exactly almost right.
yeah, so it never came up. I just spelled lion,
Bruh.
spelling test, hippopotamus, loquacious, automatopoeia.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious?
Yeah, I can spell that. It's not that hard.
Okay.
But cheetah. Cheetah.
But cheetah.
What a
Listen.
what a great story.
I'm
sad I missed it the first time.
I was like, it's so urban how they spell it. I love it. I'm just
Bruh.
I'm just like, it's the tough for me.
Ironically enough, it's just that kind of word.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh, I guess it makes sense because Juta, But anywho, back to
I
the
wouldn't
movie.
know.
Yeah. So after this immaculate performance of absolute slaying for about 3 minutes and 28 seconds, they get in the car and they get to Luke's estate, and our girl Chuchi Chanel is just mad at the world right now because she's like, hello, Luke. And like the thing is, she doesn't want Luke to marry her mom. She's afraid to change, allegedly, but then we find a deeper meaning in the end of that, which I thought was like kind of sweet. But at first there's like this whole front she's putting up, and everybody's like, Luke's such a nice guy, he's hosting us. And they see that they've got this whole part of the villa to themselves. Like, I don't know what Luke did, but I needed his money because that man was paying.
I'm sorry, you say villa?
Yes.
Yes,
Like
he's rich.
Barcelona
AF.
villa.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
And she upset
Like-
with him.
Yep.
yeah. No, that's why the other girls are like,
Fuck
if
that.
literally Aqua says, "Listen, if your mom won't marry Luke, give me a few years and I will." And I'm like,
Fuck a few years, just go now. Damn.
he's in high school, so definitely not. This is why the
okay.
movie is important.
See, that's an important detail. I did not know that.
Yes, they're teenagers.
Yes.
Never mind then. Never mind.
Scratch that from the record.
Jesus Christ.
There has been
Anyway.
some important information that has been brought to my light. I'd like to redact that statement.
Yeah, just go ahead and try to redact that, please.
So she's mad.
Yeah, she's mad that this is happening. So she's like got up front and everything, but her mom's real goal for this trip is to like get married to Luke, so she can become a trophy wife. I'm just kidding, she loves him. So while the cheetahs are here experiencing this, Luke was like, I'll introduce you to a count, and the whole thing is I think the count's gonna be old and stuffy, but he's young and his name is Jaquan.
That's a massive difference. Okay.
Yeah.
Joaquin, thank you. I'm just his name is Joaquin. So Joaquin is actually the age of the Cheetah Girls, and he's a very much dancer. Same thing as Dorinda. So him and Dorinda kind of pair off, so Dorinda can have some shine since her whole thing during the first movie was just being like hiding the fact that she was adopted and poor. To the end of the movie.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
Still don't
So-
get it.
no one does. So she goes and like has this whole Barcelona experience with him, and then while they go to the Hungry Cat or what is it? Strange,
The dancing cat.
the dancing cat.
Yeah, that one. I was like,
Where-
yeah, I was like, ooh.
Yeah. Joaquin takes them to the dancing cat, and he's like, "Yo, this is where all the cool people in Barcelona go to show off their skills and everything who's gonna be in the dancing competition." They're like, "Okay, let's see what's up. Let's do it." So they go and they meet Mary Sol, who is like one of my favorite characters in this movie because she's just like there. She doesn't even want to be there. I love it. And she just dipped her whole churro in chocolate, which is like the goal that anybody, that's the dream, you know? Chocolate churros. So,
As someone who's more and more less a fan of chocolate and not a fan of cinnamon, you do you.
yeah, don't you like
This-
Reese's?
I do like Reese's, yes, but more and more as I get older, I'm finding I don't like chocolate by itself or
See,
really with
the more I get older,
anything
the more
but
I'm like,
peanut butter.
yeah, chocolate's solid.
Eh.
For me.
Teach their own. Teacher.
Yeah.
Eh.
But anyway, at this point of the movie, we have met Mary Sol, we have met Joaquin, we got Angel, so we've got the Avengers of Barcelona here. And we're living our best life. Like the amount of unadult supervision that's happening right now is true Disney fashion.
I was like, who is watching these teenagers running around this country? We all know what happened in the Lizzie McGuire movie. Like,
Wait,
basically, she gets picked
didn't
up
you
by
become a
stranger.
pop star?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
This is
2
what
seconds?
dreams are made of.
Sing to me, Paolo.
Oh shit! Yeah, no, I remember
basically
this
gets
movie now.
kidnapped at some point. Yeah, so
What?
I'm like,
I have a
She
story
doesn't
with
get
this.
kidnapped.
I have a story with that movie that I really don't want to remember.
I kind of want to know what it is.
It involves someone that you definitely know.
You know
And-
what? We're just gonna
yeah,
keep going.
There you go. I feel
Leave it
like
in
you.
the past.
I feel like you just understood.
That's one of my
why.
favorite movies. I don't need any.
Mhm.
Anyway.
Yep.
Anyway.
All right.
Anyway.
So, how did they break up?
Okay.
All right.
So they get. Go ahead. No, go ahead, Strange. I've been talking
no,
forever.
I don't think I'm going to be able to say it as good as. So, okay, what happens is
I'm sorry.
basically
Just that.
What happened
sentence.
was, say it right.
what happened was
There you
What
go.
happened was.
one
What
girl.
happened?
See, you got to do it better.
One girl.
One girl. One
Static, Go
chance.
ahead, take it.
One
Just
time.
skip to story
No.
time.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay. So Bubbles is out here. Galleria.
I'm like
The only
we
one who's
fucking
taking this.
Power
I'll
girls
get
out
back-
here. Powerpuff Girls. Yeah.
Galleria, aka Raven Simone, the leader of the Cheetahs, is out here trying to get them ready for this competition. Everybody's living their best Barcelona life, where Chanel's out here being best friends with Mary Sol, Dorinda's out here in love with Joaquin,
Mm-hmm.
making horrible life judgments, and
They're like,
Aqua's
he's
just.
a dancer and I'm not, and
We're,
blah,
no,
blah,
we're,
blah.
we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. And then Aqua is honestly just chilling with Galleria's mom, who we find out was a very famous fashion designer in Milan, but who literally tells her daughter, "My dreams died because you were born." Like actual dialogue. I'm just like, I gave up on my dreams when you. She said, "I gave up on my dreams when you were born." I'm like, what in the Timmy Turner's dad is this dialogue? But I'm like, okay, you know. So Galleria, like any good daughter, is like, no, mom, you should focus on your dreams. Because everybody's distracted, no one wants to practice. Like Galleria has been trying to get the song happening.
At
No
least
one's
5
doing that.
times.
Yeah,
At
at
least
least
5
5 times.
Like,
He's trying to get them to do this and that. They don't want to do it. And she comes outside and she sees Chanel out here like practicing a song with Mary Sol, whose mom is trying to break up the Cheetah Girls so Mary Sol can win.
I was
That's
about
the
to
big
say
bad.
secret villain of the movie, Mary
Yeah,
Soul's
secret-
mom, because she failed at this competition 3 times or twice already, and
Twice.
the 3rd time is the charm. So we gotta make sure there's a plan. For
Bro,
only
that's-
specifically the Cheetah Girl.
That's like
Yeah.
that's like Kana taking the fucking wizard exam
God,
4 or
Wait.
5 times.
wait, have you
Yeah.
gotten through that arc yet?
I think he did.
We just finished
done
the
with
Tendril
it?
arc. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we gotta do the podcast.
But anyway.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's just like this. It's just like this. Mary Soul
Awesome.
has
I
one
love
more
that.
chance to
Yes.
win.
Oh,
So this
that's
is it. 3
fucking
strikes.
Great.
And Marisol's out. So Galleria's like, hey, no one wants to do this. Mom, I'm tired. I'm going back to New York. And she's like, no. And she's like, no, it's okay. I
Yeah.
have to let people
Wait,
go, which is like
Yes.
very adult of Galleria to make this. Normally, we don't get characters making like very adult decisions. Granted, you didn't have to go back to New York, but I really liked how she stood up for her values. And she's like, I'm not getting on that stage and I'm embarrassing myself because nobody's ready. So I'm just headed back. And I was like, I
This-
respect that.
That's very fair. Yeah, very much respect to that. Quick question for you. Did I mishear you on that explanation? Because it sounded like you said Galleria said mom, as in Galleria's mom is the one who went with them to Barcelona.
Yes, Galleria's
Because I
mom
thought
and Chanel's mom both went.
They both went. Okay,
Yes.
that's why I was messed up. Sorry.
And that's when we get the sad song, It's Over.
Yes, which
It's
is
so
low key
sad.
a bop.
Yes.
Like, because she's like, so she's singing song. She's like, yada, yada, yada. I honestly don't remember this one. And I'm like, yeah, girl, I feel that. Just not going to remember that. So, and then they take a break.
Just remember
You
the
ain't-
feeling of that.
There's like 4 songs in the movie that happen back to back. And this is like the
I
first.
mean, that
of
is
the
what a
4.
musical is.
No, I mean like not back to back. Like there's
There's
a
that whole
10
middle part
second
when there was
break.
no music. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a 10-second break before each song.
That
But,
kind of
like-
threw me off for a minute. I was like,
I'm gonna be
oh,
honest.
well, there's another. Okay, there's the next one. Oh
No.
gosh, there's another one.
That
So,
kind of just sounds like a musical to me.
It's not. But anywho. Sorry, go ahead.
That's not like the reason musicals do that, but just going very short periods of time before a new song. Yeah, no, that's pretty typical for Disney musical.
I mean, even the normal traditional decom, I feel like is not this long. Also, for some reason, and so I go out. But
Great. Everybody
I
having
don't know.
problems tonight. Thanks, Internet.
I don't know.
Yay.
It's just
Fuck you,
blinking
Comcast.
really. Oh yeah, basically. So homegirl is like, yo, this is where we go from 0 to 1,000 in the movie, which just happens so abruptly to me because Galleria kind of just sees Chanel with Marisol and just kind of like attacks her. It's like, can't work with her. We got 2 weeks, blah blah blah. And then that's the whole thing. And then Chanel's like, if you were really my friend, now you're gonna tell me who I can be friends. Like this fight just feels kind of forced because it's like they've been like they literally were just talking about how they're sisters, they have each other's backs, and that happens. And then the real absolute crazy part is with Dorinda, who goes to Joaquin's dance studio, have lunch with him that she's so excited to do. She sees him in a suit because he said he's accountant, he has to do all this other business stuff. She sees him in a suit,
And melts.
and then he takes his suit out, and she's like sitting there where she's like, if you would have told me, I would have dressed nice. And he's like, no, what are you talking about? Like, I'm ready to go lunch. And she's like, oh, so I'm just a poor orphan girl to you? And he's like, what? Because he doesn't even know that
What
she's
the
an orphan.
fuck?
Yes, that's how it happened. Like,
This
no
is-
cap.
This
Like-
is the one. This is what I was talking about. Where I was like, "What kind of jump to conclusion? We go from 0 to 1,000 in 2 seconds.
Yes.
What is
Well-
this plot point?" No,
Well,
man.
when you let your insecurities rule your life, you kind of just do that.
Yeah, but
Yes,
like
but-
she's just
What the
taking it
fuck,
all
though?
out on him. Like she's like, I'm just a poor orphan to you. That's right. I don't have a family. And then he's like, I didn't even know this. And the dude, he has like the most.
About to
he
say,
has-
don't you have 3 sisters back in the hotel?
He has the most like genuine normal response in like all of Disney, I swear. Because like me, he's just like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Like, because she's like, I can't live in this. She's like, we're from 2 separate worlds. I can't do this. And the dude's just like, what do you mean? Like, what? And she's like, it's over between us. And she just storms out. And I'm like, it's one of the most like, what moments I've had in any type of media because it's just so abrupt. So
Sounds
that
like you
happens.
dodged a bullet, honestly.
Yeah. Oh wait, it gets worse. So they come back, and I guess Gabriella's mom has told them, or Galleria. I keep calling her Gabriella. Galleria's mom is like, she's going back to New York, and Chanel walks in, and she's like, "What? Like, no, I'm gonna go talk to her." And the moms are like, "No, you're not talking to her. Like, she needs rest. She's leaving early in the morning." And like all the girls are sad, and you don't even see what happened with Aqua to make her sad. Like, but she
Yeah.
is. So it's just like, okay. And then Chanel's like, it's because I was spending all my time with Marisol. Aqua's like, yeah, it was. And then they try and fight each other, and I'm just like, what? She's like, oh, you want to say something? And the moms get in between them again. And then we get another sad song, like from the perspective of Galleria, Raven Simone, like in her room packing, which
It's
all
not
she
a
owns is
badly-
3 silk items.
Yeah, it's not a badly shot.
Wait, she
song
owns
either,
silk?
dude.
Damn, they
No.
making money.
The weird thing is, like, everything in this movie is surprisingly really cinematically well done.
Mm.
Like, all the shots are like A1. Again, Kenny Ortega killing it with the directing. But like, it's just like it's just so funny because it's not like Jump In where you can just be like, okay, I have no interest in this because everything is like going bonkers, but you're like entranced because you're like, what? It's like teetering so bad it's laughable, but also like these are real feelings happening, so I kind of empathize with like the group. So Galleria goes on in the morning. Like, the girls wake up to talk to her, but she's already gone because she got on the first bus there. So she's already like at the port. But somehow, as soon as she walks through the door, the girls are right behind her, or maybe they're already there. It's not really explained how they got there so fast.
It was one of those instant transmission things.
You know,
they did
public
again.
transportation isn't always like on time. So
Yeah. But they're singing in their pajamas like the acapella Amigas Cheetahs because Galleria left the music there. And they're like, you know what? Yeah. They just go back. And then it cuts to Marisol's mother. Oh, I'm so sorry about Galleria. They're like, oh no, she's back. And she's like, what? This whole time, Marisol's just trying to eat a burger. Like, literally. That's all she's trying to do is just eat this burger.
I just
her
want this
mom-
beef.
Like, and her mom is just losing it. Like, she's me. Galleria is me. Or not, sorry. You know what? That's a true statement as well. But, like, Marisol is me. Like, she's just trying to eat the burger, and her mom just keeps putting a salad in her face. Like, she wouldn't even let her drink the sweet tea. I'm like, yo, this is... But, so, anywho, the mom becomes, like, super skeezy and then schedules a gig for the Cheetah Girls to perform. And then at the Dancing Cat, but they get paid for it, which makes them ineligible to be a
It was a non-professional competition, so them getting paid makes them professional.
Oh,
That's exactly how that works. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
If you're getting paid, you're a professional.
Okay, that's surprisingly smart for one of these villains.
Like I'm saying, this
Quote,
is a, like
quote
and the-
unquote
and you-
villains.
yeah, she's just a controlling mom. Who was very toxic. Her daughter and everyone. But then this is the third song in like 5 minutes that we're on right now because it like cut over.
How short are
From-
these songs?
They're not short. That's the thing. Like,
They're not short songs.
so this song is like a cut into with 2 other songs. Like they go from performing the song at the train station to performing it in the dance studio. No, okay, this is the dance studio song where Joaquin kisses Dorinda, and she's like, "I'm sorry, I didn't explain." And he's like, also, she just shows up to use his dance studio, which couldn't be me. Like, couldn't be me. But anyway, she's like,
The sign says no trespassers for a reason, bitch.
she's like, "Thank you for letting me." It's a complete Disney Prince reverse. But she's like, "Thank you for letting me use your dance studio." Oh, this isn't my dance studio. I'm poor as shit. Like, and she's like, "What? You're poor?" And then she starts becoming
You
more
have no
flirtatious
money?
with him.
I can be the breadwinner? Then it's okay.
Yeah, toxic. And then he's like, "I'm just a dancer. You made all those assumptions about me." She's like, "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." And he's like, "It's okay. Stay with me. I have to perform." "No, I'm going to New York." Then they kiss. I'm like, okay.
I
I honestly give it 2 months.
give it a week.
I give it forever. He never returns in the last movie. So it's eternal love. And then we get they're all dancing and practicing. This is where we get this isn't the sexy tango scene, but shout out to the sexy tango scene that I overlooked because that was oddly provocative in the black, but here for it because Barcelona is the land of tango, the land of seductive dance. With a very good birth rate, probably because of the seductive dance. Unlike Japan, has no seductive dances, and it's failing the birth rate.
I mean,
Wherever that came from, all right.
Man,
Holy shit. So
What
what
an-
I'm getting from that message is learn to tango.
I'm gonna keep your population.
You know any classes available?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Jesus Christ.
So,
Oh, sorry, we're in Barcelona. Jesus Cristo.
so
All right. So
we get into it, right? Final number. I feel like I'm doing all the talking. Do y'all
you
wanna
are,
say
man.
anything?
It's
You are doing
Amigas Chicas.
I am entertained just by what you're saying. Holy shit.
I am an Amigas Cheetah. We all are. That's the point of the last song.
We should start our own band.
We should.
fuck
Called
no, we shouldn't.
Cheetahs.
Amigas Breakers. Nope. Nope.
All I'm saying is this can go exactly like 3LW did if you want.
Who we kicking out?
The one that's not making it to the Cheetah Girls.
And what's
Volunteer.
that alcoholism? It got him. But
Well, not really him out right
Like
now.
they were children. But no, you're talking about him. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm like it was a girls' dance group.
Anyway, so we get to the kind of final 15-minute stretch, which a lot happens. They find out they get to the performance, right? Or this is the day before the performance, dress rehearsal and everything, and they're like, "Yeah, we out here, we ready, we delicious." Yeah. And the director of the whole organization, who walks around with this giant stick, but only sometimes, who's like very good at yelling, shows up. He's like, "Where are the Cheetah Girls?" And they're like, "We're here. I must tell you, did you take money for your performance at the Dancing Cat?" And then the mom gets in, like the toxic mom, Mary Soul's mom gets in. She's like, "Well, yeah, I arranged this for the girls, and they got paid 100 euros each." He's like, "That makes them paid professionals. Thus, they cannot perform." Ryan's like, "What?" And he's like, "This is final, and I am sorry." So, leave.
And the
Cheetah
mom's
Girls
like,
are sad.
Oh man, oh that's too bad. I'm
I
sorry. I'll
know.
fix it. It'll be okay. You don't
He
fix
doesn't
it.
fix it.
No.
So, the Cheetah Girls go
came
back
there-
to
she
the
came
Dancing
there for
Cat.
a dude. Why should she care?
Some
Yeah.
time passes, and it's like, oh no, oh we're so sad. And then they go back to the Dancing Cat. Here, we don't want
Just-
your money. Take it.
Well, they give the money back because it's not the right thing to keep it. So,
That
which
doesn't take away their status as professionals.
Well, I only say this because our boy
You
Angel,
might as well
the like
give
real
money.
the real MVP of the movie, who's always lurking. Like this dude got a lot of free time, like
he
no
is
job.
in the background a lot.
Yeah, he's out here just because he wants Galleria, that mall shopping center. I mean, so that's what she calls herself. So I pressed the wrong
What?
button.
She calls herself a mall shopping center.
Well, when he introduced himself, he's like, "My name is Angel," and she's like, "Oh, Angel," and she's like, "My name is Galleria, like a big shopping complex, dates and blah blah blah," that's what a Galleria is. Yes, moms in this, yeah, which is funny because they're all named after brands. Chanel is named after the Chanel purse brand. Galleria is named after model brand, and Dorinda is, I think, like a purse or something that used to be popular, and Aqua was like a fragrance. So they're all named after like things.
I'll take your word for it, but when I heard Galleria, I thought of like gallery, like an art studio gallery kind of thing.
No, a Galleria is a big like shopping complex. She explains it in the movie if you watched it.
Okay.
So we're on the final stretch. They return the money to the dancing cat, and Angel sees them do it. He's like, "Oh," and they say it's the principle of the matter. So Angel goes all Lupin the Third and like interrogates, and then the Cheetah Girls are helping Adrian get ready, or not Adrian. They're helping Chanel get ready for her joint combo song with Mary Soul, because that happened at some point off screen.
Well, that was like, oh, we can have these two girls, my daughter and the one Cheetah Girl sing, and it'll be okay. It'll be like you guys participated. Like, no. That was her plan all along.
Whatever. Disney Channel movie logic. Whatever.
Yeah. So they go. They go into it. My mouth is so red. So they go into it, and they're there helping Chanel get ready and everything. And the yelling stick guy is back. He's like, "The Cheetah Girls, you are here." I'm like, no, we're just leaving. He's like, "That's good. You can perform." They're like, "What?" "It's been brought to me by reliable sources that the incident was rigged." And then the mom's like, "What reliable sources?" "My nephew." Then Angel, I don't know why I pointed, but Angel appears out of nowhere.
From the rafters, he appears.
He enters from stage
with
left.
his guitar. He's like, "I saw the whole thing." Just as you say, the principal. And Gallery is like, "I love him. I love him so much." And then Mary Saul's like, "Mom, this isn't me. I didn't want to do this. I'm sick of you controlling me." And Mary Saul's mom was like, "But honey, I did this for you." She's like, "No, you did this all for you," which is very factual. Girl just wanted to eat a hamburger and chill. So the Cheetah Girls take the final performance. And then we cut to, it was like, "Oh, we're sorry to announce Mary Saul will not be performing." And she's like in the crowd with some churros and some chocolate, just going to town. I'm like proud of her. And then the best production song outside of Strut comes on, Amigas Cheetahs. And it starts with our boy Angel playing his guitar, just like on the stage. Like this cinematically was a marvel. Like, because you just don't see things like this in Disney Channel movies. Just seeing this whole shot, which was like crazy. The fits, the music, the crowd, banger. So the girls, or you get Raven Simone, aka Galleria, wearing this long fleece. It's a whole ode to like Spain and Barcelona culture, which was so dope. He's wearing like this fleece and the hat and everything, while Angel's strumming the Spanish guitar. She's like, "Mi Barcelona," and she's saying this all seductively. And I'm just like, okay, that's your lane. You take it. I'm gonna be on the other side. So she's doing that, giving this whole speech, and she's like, "Thank you, my Barcelona, for showing me love, passion, and above all else, amigas cheetahs." And then she's walked up to Angel, and then you see Chanel with this bomb ass matador, like female matador fit, which is so clean. Like I forgot how clean these final fits were. And she's like, "No matter what," like getting her Whitney Houston on with her arms swaying. And then like you just hear "Amigas Cheetahs," and then the other girls pop out and they start doing the dance and everything. And like this is a whole spectacle, because it's like everybody from the movie gets their dues. Like they are like dancing and singing, and then she's like, "My friend Mary Saul," and they bring Mary Saul up, and Mary Saul does a duet, starts singing and joining. She's like, "Our amigas," and then Joaquin and the other dancers come in all seductively, shaking their rampama, and then they're like with the suits and everything. I'm like, wow, that's dope because thing. They start dancing, and then a band shows up, like a street band in Barcelona shows up, and they start playing. Everybody's out here bopping and swapping, doing the Amigas Cheetahs, hitting the high notes. Just a whole spectacle.
And then the movie ends.
Yes, and we can't hear you, Kelz, for some reason.
I said bopping and swapping.
Oh, maybe that's like not the right
Like,
word.
It pulls the Disney Channel thing. You're like, well, that was the competition. We'll never know who won.
Yeah, I was like,
Stop
what?
doing this.
I feel like this is the only time they've done it because we've seen who wins and
No,
other stuff.
Jump in did it, sort of.
We find out
Oh,
who
yeah.
won Jump In.
Yeah, we found out they won. Yeah, they won to jump in.
No,
No.
they didn't win the competition.
No.
They
they
won. No, they
didn't.
won. They won the competition we saw. They
Okay, we
didn't.
won the competition.
They didn't
No.
win the next one out of.
No,
Yes.
no, I remember that. That
Google this shit.
I
They win the
Because everybody
compe-
claps because they're like the Red Hot
no
Chili Peppers.
But they cut to the dude in the future telling the story to the kids, and he was like, they didn't win that year, but they did win the next year.
They won that competition. They did, which was city. They didn't win the state level.
National. That was
Yeah.
yeah.
Which they so we saw them win, but they didn't keep going until the year after that.
Okay, well,
Okay,
maybe it's
yeah,
not like
okay.
a
Yeah,
one-for-one thing, but okay, let's take Wendy Wu, for example. The whole point, I thought, was supposed to be homecoming. What doesn't happen in the movie? Homecoming does not happen.
that was the
It's
point.
very-
She gave up homecoming
We gave him
for
homecoming,
her
but we
duty.
could have at least gone to homecoming.
No, we couldn't.
No,
That was the
because the whole
whole
fight
point
was happening
of
during
the movie.
during the
Because
dance.
It could
her
have happened at homecoming.
no, her character arc was sacrificing her goal of homecoming for the bigger, more important thing of family and everyone surviving.
What's important to you wasn't what was needed for the world.
Would I have loved a Power Rangers fucking fight scene at homecoming? Yes, that would have been a
God,
great,
yes.
hilarious thing to see.
Yeah,
That'd been so dope.
That would have been great.
But her not going to homecoming was the point of her character growth.
No, you're right. I think
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
just I was disappointed I didn't get to see a Power Rangers fight at a high school homecoming dance. So maybe that's
Yo,
Darn.
future Power Ranger seasons, you know what we want.
I'm sure this probably happened in Kamen Rider at some point.
There's so many Sentai and Kamen
I
Rider
know.
seasons for me to get through. There's no way I'm gonna catch up.
Next year we're watching
comment.
all the Sentai.
You're watching.
Do
all
not
this
put
Sentai.
that shit on us.
Strange
I think
will
we-
be doing his own podcast called Sentai Strange.
I think we should
Strange Sentai.
we should look at some of that though. Something
We-
we'll have to figure out for
We should, but do not put all of that on
No.
us.
quarter
Jesus
two.
Christ.
Quarter two, we'll figure it out. Amigas Chicas, excuse me, Amigas Cheetahs,
Friends for life.
as performed as the last thing we see in Barcelona, was such a fun song, right? Strut, Amigas Cheetahs, It's Over, all pretty great Cheetah Girl songs. Dance With Me, not sung by a Cheetah Girl, but still pretty fun. I think Belinda did a duet in there, but I don't know. It was a good time. I had a fun time with the music. The music still holds up.
It does, for sure.
Personally, I find it hilarious that coming into like us talking about the Cheetah Girls and everything, I've just been scrolling through so Instagram, some social medias and whatnot, and finding so many people putting videos about their trips to Barcelona, specifically referencing the Cheetah Girls.
Of course.
It was like, what the fuck is this timing?
Mm-hmm. It's a whole vibe.
Apparently it is, and I missed out on it.
You missed it.
And I just love with my whole heart
That-
about about how Marisol is an actual Barcelona, Spain star who just put out her 5th album last year and is very popular.
Oh.
About how
shit, good for
Yeah.
her.
Yeah, like these are actual people, like all famous like people doing their stuff. Like Angel is also a very prominent movie actor as well from Barcelona. Like they didn't just get random people from America. They went in the culture and like got people from there to work with them. And I think even the mom was like very reoccurring in like shows and stuff, like Marisol's mom. So I really love like the attention to like detail they pay for this and just how like this was. I remember this movie was like so big in America, but it was also really big in like Canada and Singapore and the Philippines because the world loves seeing other parts of the world. It's not just America.
Yeah, I do know that Galleria's mom, Raven Simone's character's mom, ended up. I don't know if she was a co-host or just regular reoccurring on The View when Raven Simone was hosting. But I do know that she ended up coming back and working a lot with Raven Simone on that. So I do know this cast stayed in touch a lot, and they were really close together. Most of them. Apparently, because of one of them, Raven Simone almost kind of... If it wasn't for the mom, Raven Simone apparently would have gotten arrested in Barcelona.
Oh.
Because of the shit that was going on in the band.
Cool.
But everybody else was real close together.
Yeah.
That was.
The other, so two of the Cheetah Girls were coming from a other girl band called what is
3LW.
it? 3LW. And Raven Simone sounds like they had the same situation with the other 3LW member that got kind of ousted. So I'm somehow not surprised that Raven Simone didn't come back for Cheetah Girls 3.
Yeah, I think the problem may have been with either Aqua or sorry, not Aqua, either Kylie, Adrian.
Yep.
Maybe.
And those are
No,
the two
I know it wasn't Adrian, because Adrian also played a character in That's So Raven, and in the 5th season of Raven's Home, not only did she come back to
Reprise her role.
reprise, that's the word, thank you, reprise her role, but also like she actually became a host for a talk show on MTV. I want to say The Real.
Yeah.
I don't remember. And
Sounds about right.
And Raven Simone actually came and did a guest spot on that same show. They acted like best friends who hadn't seen each other in a while.
That's the thing. Acted. They're actors.
This is fair. This is a fair point.
But I know that Kylie Williams was a inciting factor in a lot of the problems. So I could see that. Gentlemen,
Yeah.
final thoughts on Cheetah Girls 2 and rounding out DCOM December.
I think that this, of course, I did so much talking. I think this was a bomb as movie. Music really was a strong point. The acting was whatever. I love the over the top acting. It almost felt like I was watching a telenovela because it was just so
I
dramatic.
could see that.
Spanish,
Yeah.
so yeah.
But like overall, Strut, man, it's been in my playlist since 2006. It will stay in my playlist until 2006. Throw that cat away. And
But Kitty.
Trash kitty. But yeah, so
Some of them are, yes.
sometimes you just gotta strut it out, and that song helps me sad and out. Amiga Cheetahs is also how I feel about you all for life.
Aw.
You are the, Chuchi, the dough, aqua of my life. I'm Galleria. Bubbles.
How dare you? How dare you claim the successful one, even though a number of them went off to do wonderful things.
Oh, shit.
Wow. I was really just claiming the most likely to like have a fit and go back to New York without telling anybody.
You were talking about it. You've been talking about that recently. All right.
Well, I mean, I enjoyed it. I liked watching it. It wasn't exactly my kind of thing to watch. It was more of a not my thing usually, but it was enjoyable.
Too urban for you?
No, that's not.
Too international.
Why do y'all do this to me? You and my wife always come up with the worst case scenario of what I'm trying to tell people. You're just like, oh, it's this thing that's obviously the worst option out of the infinite things I could have picked. No. Anyways.
You just have a look about you.
I guess I do. I don't know. But yeah, I enjoyed the music, the cinematography. It was nice and fun. The melodramatic stuff was, oh, I'm poor orphan girl. Oh, woe is me. How dare you wear a suit and shoo away your friends. That was weird. And then I'm going back to New York. It's like, well, you could stay in Barcelona. Just don't have to. I don't know. But anyways.
Yeah.
It was. And then the wishing star thing, that was funny. I just laughed. I said, I was like, it's so ridiculous. I love it. But no, would I watch this again? Yes. But it was a fun time.
Thankfully.
I will easily say, just based on the description from you guys, this is far, far better than the first one. I feel a little bad that I just essentially boycotted this one because of how bad the first one was.
You can
should
make it up to us by watching the third one and then coming back and telling us how it was.
He'll quit on the spot.
You can go fuck yourself. I'm not doing that.
So thankfully
But
for the
that
rest
being
of us,
said,
go ahead.
good shit. Apparently good shit.
Thankfully for the rest of us who have seen the film, you can go rewatch the hits on YouTube in about a half hour and really enjoy all the songs straight from Disney Channel. They're all back to back.
As if Disney needs more promotion.
So question. Did you watch this with your wife, Strange?
No.
Oh, wow.
Maybe that's why. You gotta like show her you being like
She's seen
culturally
it.
appreciative.
I know she's seen it. She just messaged me.
What else
She's
was
like,
she
stop
doing?
talking about Dorinda. Why don't you watch it with her? Huh?
Oh my god.
All right. That's a wrap on DCOM December and 2022 here on Content Breaker. You can catch
Thank
all
Christ
the.
for the second one.
I thought you were just making it up, but it's
Why would I make that up?
I don't know. You make this stuff up all the time.
I'm making nothing up. I'm a truther.
You can catch us on all your podcasts, stuck at Spotify, iTunes, Amazon
Call me a
Podcasts,
liar? I ain't calling you a truther.
or YouTube
God damn it.
at Content Breaker, or the other product as well, your typical Shonen Protagonist as well. Gentlemen, you have stuff too.
Yes. You can find me at Static Dreads. Please engage with me because Elon Musk made me feel bad by saying a lot of people see my stuff. Don't say anything.
Oh, just pay $6 to get the check mark and everything.
Maybe.
Strange.
Probably not.
You find me YouTube, Twitch. Look for Strangely Entertaining. I stream on Twitch 9 p.m. Tuesdays Central Standard Time.
Consistently.
Except for last
eh.
Tuesday. No, don't.
Last Tuesday I did not because I said the stream before that would be the last one of the year because I knew I'd be out of town.
And of course, catch us next
That's
week
the other product.
for more. I've already done that. Oh, we're talking. Catch us next week for more Content Breaker. Next week we're doing 2022 in review. We'll catch y'all later on Content Breaker.